So I want to just outline 3 different vectors that I've discovered are fundamental across all religious traditions, all spiritual traditions. And these come from both my study with Ken Wilber and also my study with Daniel P. Brown and my own direct experience. So the first is an element that I call vantage points. So vantage points to the aspect of our experience in any given moment that reveals the source from which awareness is coming. So most of us in our daily lives experience awareness and thought as the same thing. We think, and we think, oh, I'm aware, I'm thinking. That's fine. That's the starting point for this type of development along the vantage point vector. But for anyone here who's engaged in any form of meditation, you've probably found that there are segments in time during your meditative practice where thinking stops, or thinking subsides, yet you're still aware. When those experiences begin to happen, you begin to realize, wow, awareness is somehow deeper than thought. Thought comes and goes, thought can be present, yet there's an aspect of myself that's actually deeper than that, because I'm aware. As the meditative path continues to progress, there are ways in which we begin to realize that even who we think we are as a personality, our likes and dislikes, that which we cherish, that which we detest, that all these things actually change over time. So there's actually a deepening realization as we continue to meditate, as we continue to look into this, that awareness and the personality, Dustinness or Spencerness or Terryness, that's also something that's fleeting, that awareness is deeper than that. That awareness is here even as the personality changes. Even as you've changed throughout your lifetime, there's an aspect of you that you know is still the same, it's still here. And then as the path deepens along this vector of vantage points, we begin to even look at how we experience time and space. So time's really interesting because it seems like time's happening. So it's this moment now, and then it seems like some time has happened, now it's this moment. Yet there's an aspect of our experience that stayed the same. So there's a level of awareness that's actually beyond the coming and going of time, because right now it's still now. And then a few more moments have passed, but it's still now because we're still the exact same awareness that was here a few minutes ago. And so as this vantage point path develops, we begin to stabilize in something that's ever present, something that's beyond the coming and going of time. And as practice deepens even further, we begin to deconstruct the sense that we're also an individual consciousness. We have such an assumption, and it happens so quickly, that I'm here and you're there. I'm in here, you're out there. What starts to happen along this spiritual path is that you begin to notice that there's an aspect of awareness that isn't contracted into individuality. There's an aspect of awareness that's open, it's free. And from that open, free field of awareness, that single sphere, you can allow individual awareness to arise. You can allow individual awareness to be here, but it happens within that open field. And even so, you can allow time and space to arise in that open field, in the personality. And you can even allow thought to arise, but all of that happens as these layers of vantage points coexist. So in the book and in my own writing and teaching, I don't use the term non-dual. Many of you have heard that term, non-dual, right? Because non-dual to me is a little bit misleading. Because non-dual points to the fact that it's not dual. And in fact, that's true, it's not dual, but there's also an aspect of reality that remains that appears to be dual, seemingly dual. I prefer the term trans-dual. So as we move along these vantage points, you eventually enter into what we call a trans-dual awareness. That means that an aspect of awareness remains perfectly singular as the great sphere that is here now. Many of you are entering into that. But at the same time, awareness also arises as an appearing separate self. Individual consciousness, time, space, personality, thought, all here, without any contradiction. So any sense that you need to get rid of anything fades away because everything's allowed to be exactly as it is. So this is that dimension of vantage points. This is one of the key dimensions that different traditions speak about.